Oh my gosh, ang internet.
Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. We are coming to you live from San Francisco. My name is Luisa. I'm a mom of two, a full time employee, and a proud digital business owner.
Hi guys, my name is Candy. I'm also a mom of two, a full-time employee, and a proud digital business owner.
Hello, everyone. I'm Carla. I'm also a mom of two, a full time employee, and a proud digital business owner.
Hey, so happy Wednesday, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great week so far. And for today, our topic is sharing your story to help others believe. So sometimes we think, who am I to share my story to others? I'm not even successful, and I don't think my story is worth sharing. But you know what? That's not true because each person's story matters. If you started with your digital business journey, or even if you're a few steps ahead, it matters to share your story because whatever you've been through, what you figure out, and what you've learned and accomplished, that could be the exact thing that another person needs to hear to finally believe that they can do it too. So, here are 6 ways sharing your story can help others believe, especially if they're thinking about starting something new. First one is your story shows what's possible. So, have you ever seen another person or maybe another mom do something bold, something out of the ordinary that you wouldn't think that she'll do? So, like starting her own business, and you think, wow, she's a mom just like me. With her hair in a messy bun, with her kids on the background playing and talking. She's talking how she started her own business, and she did this. So maybe we can do it too. I can do it too. And um and that's exactly what happens when you share your story. You don't need to be a millionaire or have a perfect life. You just need to be real. Maybe you were burnt out, maybe you were missing too many moments with your family, and then you decided to just jump in, take that first step, and start a change, something for a change in your life. So you figure things out and you made a way to do that, and now you're just telling that story, your own story. You become someone else's proof that even with the chaos, the fear of the unknown, you made it possible. So the takeaway on this is, you're not just telling a story, you're also reminding someone what's possible for them.
Yes, and then the second one is your honesty makes it feel real, not like another sales pitch. So let's be real, most people are tired of being sold to all the time. So everywhere we scroll, we see perfect photos, glowing results, and people acting like they've got it all figured out. But you know what stands out in all of that noise is honesty. Not like the polished kind, but the kind that says, I was scared to try this. I doubted myself and I didn't know what I was doing at first. When you share your real story the way it really happened, not just the wins, but the hard parts too, people feel it. It doesn't sound like someone is trying to sell them something. It sounds like someone opening up their heart. So, like a friend chatting over coffee, like a sister saying, Hey, I've been there too. Like a fellow mom who truly understands the juggling act of life. And because you're real, people start to trust you, not because you're perfect, but because you're authentic. They relate to your truth, and that truth builds trust. They think if she's being real, maybe I can trust this, maybe I can do it too. And that's what we really try to do, share really our journey. That's why we go live, and the main takeaway is real stories build real trust, and trust is what opens heart.
Yes, and then the next is your courage becomes their courage. So, starting something new, like especially an online business, can be really scary. So, I remember when I first saw the opportunity or heard about it, I was curious, definitely, but I was also very nervous about it. I had doubts. I mean, I was always thinking, could I do this? Maybe would anyone take me seriously? What if I failed? But I kept thinking about my coach or my mentor when I saw her online, when I see her sharing her story, even in the beginning, in the very beginning, her voice would be shaking. She didn't wait to feel fully confident. She just started scared and all, and that stuck with me because if she could be brave enough to try, maybe I could too, because we're all doing it for our family. I just wanted it enough to be brave enough, right? So that's what our stories do in this business. So when we share the behind the scenes moments, the fear, the shaky first steps, we show others it's okay not to have it all together. So it's not about being perfect, it's about being real. So every time you post or go live or share your journey, even if you're still figuring it out, you're giving someone else permission to try. So you're lighting the way, quietly saying, I was scared too, but I didn't let that stop me. So the main takeaway is that your courage can be someone's first step. That's the power of this business. We don't just grow income, we grow also belief.
Yes. And then the fourth one is your story reminds them they're not the only one. So let's talk about the quiet thoughts that moms rarely say out loud. They would think, I love my family, but I feel stuck, or I want something more, but I don't know what. So, and also, is it wrong to want more freedom, more for fulfillment, or more purpose? So we often carry those thoughts silently, thinking we're the only one. But when you speak up, you would say, I felt that way too, or I wanted something different and I took that step. By doing so, you create space for someone else to finally admit her truth, and you make her feel seen. You give her permission to want more without feeling guilty. So takeaway on this is your story says you're not the only one, and it's okay to want something different.
Yes. And then the next one is your messy start gives others permission to start messy too. So starting something new can feel really overwhelming. You might think I'm not ready, I need to learn more first, or I have to wait until I have more time. But the truth, there's no such thing as the perfect time to begin. So most of us start, especially me, start messy, unsure, confused, busy, and tired, but I start anyway because something inside me says this might be worth it. I remember my beginning, it wasn't smooth. I didn't have the right tools. I didn't even know what I was doing most of the time. I just knew I wanted a change and I was willing to learn along the way. And that's exactly what I share with others, not the highlight reel, but the real journey. Late night, small steps, and lots of learning. Because when people see your real beginning, they stop thinking, I need to be perfect, and start thinking, if she can start without having it all together, maybe I can too. So they get the courage to just start, even if it's messy, unsure, and slow. So the main takeaway is your messy beginning is what makes you relatable, and that relatability gives someone else the green light to begin.
Yes, and then the last is that your story plants quiet seeds of hope. So sometimes we think, when we share our story, and just because, someone didn't comment or like or message you right away, that it probably didn't work. But what I've learned in this digital space, that people are always watching. So they may not always comment, they may not always like, or you may not always feel their presence, but they're there and they're watching. So some are actually silently wondering, could this really work for me? Or maybe others are just not ready yet, right? So, but you sharing your story, and they hear it, it will linger at the back of their mind. So they might remember your words or your story later at 11 p.m. at night after a long shift. A lot of our business partners are nurses, they work long hours. They might even remember it when they're tired from work, or other moms who are super busy doing working multiple jobs, and then they get home and they want to sit down and rest, and they think, oh, I heard about this mom online sharing her story. You know, that's when your story becomes a seed. So it might take days, it might take weeks, or maybe even months, but when they're ready to say, something needs to change, your journey, your story, it will come back to them because you kept showing up. So you kept being honest and you kept sharing your story. So our main takeaway here is that you never know who's watching. And one day they'll remember you were the one who made them believe that they could have more. So that's the beauty of our business. We're not just building online income streams, we're trying to quietly inspire others to believe in themselves again.
Yes. So, if today's topic reminded you that your story matters just as it is, I hope you take that to your heart, because by sharing what you've been through, you really can help another mom or another person believe in what's possible. And if you've been curious about the digital business that help us create more flexibility and purpose, feel free to send any of us a message. We'd love to share more with you. So just send us a message if you have any question.
Yes. So the first step, if you want to learn more, is go to any of our website and register. My website is theinglegacy.com. Carla's is at carlaperganan.com, and Luisa's at luisaenriquez.com. So go to any of our website, register with your name and email address, so you'll get the link to our free 90-minute webinar, which gives you the overview of what a digital business is. And if you have further questions, just message us and we'll answer them for you.
Yeah, so this is why we keep coming to you live, because we want to share you our story and how we're doing this for our family, sharing you our why. This is why we go live every day. We have different topics. So if this inspires you to do better, if you're tired of your 9 to 5 job, if you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, maybe this business is for you. It's very flexible. You don't need any experience. We have training, step by step training, video based training that you can follow. It's very, very simple. Even an 80-year-old can follow this training. So don't be afraid to try something new. Don't be afraid to invest in your family's future. Maybe this is the business that you're looking for, your answered prayer. So please do reach out to any one of us, and we'll help you get started.
So that's it for our Go Live today. We hope you learned something from it, and we hope to see you again tomorrow for another topic. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.